guys, I'm Leza Melfia. I'm from TPI 4A. Okay, now I wanna review the material of pragmatics. But before that, I wanna give you the information from pragmatics. What is pragmatics? Pragmatics is the study of how context, both social and situational, influence the meaning of language. It involves understanding how speakers use language to achieve specific communicative goals and how listeners interpret the meaning of that context. Okay guys, now we enter to the first material. Speech act is a concept in pragmatics that refers to the action performed by speaker when using language. It involves the use of language to perform an action, such as stating, asking, requesting, promising, or threatening. In other words, when someone speaks, they are not only conveying the information, but also doing something that has direct on the listener. There are several types of speech act. The first is locutionary. Locutionary is the act performed by speaker utters a specific speech or phrase with clear grammatical and lexical meaning. For example, when I'm saying, "I'm feeling hungry," is a locutionary that expresses the feeling of hunger. The second is illocutionary. Illocutionary is the core of speech act, which is the action performed by speaker by uttering something, such as stating, requesting, or commanding. For example, when someone say, "Please close the door," they are performing an illocutionary act, that is, a request to close the door. The third is perlocutionary act. This refers to expected or anticipated effect of the perlocutionary act, how listener responds or reach to the utterance. For example, when the window still open at the night. So I say, "Oh, I feel very cold." That I hope the listener understand what I say. That I ask for help to close the window. Okay, the second material. The cooperative principle describes how people achieve effective conversational communication in common social situation. That is, how listener and speaker act effectively and mutually accept one another to be understood in a particular way. There are four main aspects of cooperative principle. The first is maxim of relevance. Speakers tend to provide information that they believe most relevant to the interlocutor in the context of the conversation. For example, "The weather today is very sunny. I think we could go for a picnic." And indeed, the weather was very sunny that day. The second is maxim of quantity. Speakers tend to provide an appropriate amount of information, neither too much nor too little, based on communication need. For example, when someone asks about movie you recently watched, and we just answer, "I watched the interesting movie. It's about adventure traveling around the world and to find lost treasure." We just give complete information, neither too much nor too little. The third is maxim of quality. Speakers tend to speak truthfully, provide information that they believe to be true and countable. For example, when someone asks, "How many maxim the according Greece?" we say, "According to the book I read, there are 4 maxims." What are they? We say maxim of relevancy, maxim of quantity, maxim of quality, maxim of manner. So that we give truth information based on the book. The last is maxim of manner. Speakers tend to convey information clearly, coherently, and in accordance with the norms, grammar, and language. For the example, when we explain direction to someone, We have to give clear information. Don't be so complicated because that it can make the listener confused. Give the information easy to understand and correct. Okay, the third material. Implicature is a utterance that convey the meaning beyond its proportion, or how we understand utterance with various pragmatic inferences that is not only visible in the utterance. There are two types of implicature. The first is conventional implicature, something we can understand and its literal meaning. For example, I'm tired. We can understand from what we see and hear, and someone is indeed in a state of tiredness, the actual state. The second is conversational implication, occurs when meaning is derived from a particular context or situation. For example, when someone asks, "Do you have a plan to come to the party tomorrow night?" And the answer, "I have some work that needs to be done." It means that someone indirectly indicates she cannot come to the party tomorrow night because she has something that needs to be done. Okay, enter to the fourth material. Presupposition comes from the word the presuppose, which in English means to suppose beforehand, prejudice or temporarily guess. That sense, before speaker or writer say something, he already has a previous assumption about people is talking to or what he is talking. There are 6 types of presupposition. The first is existential presupposition. Presupposition that are not only conveyed to exist in the sentences indicating ownership. This presupposition shows how the existence of something can be conveyed through presupposition. For example, someone steals Andy's motorbike. The presupposition, there is motorbike, there is a thief, there is someone unnamed. The second is factive presupposition. This presumption arises from the information that you want to convey and is conveyed with words that indicate a fact or reality that is believed to be true. For example, Andy's sim has a fever and then realized that it was raining outside. The presupposition, Andy is fever and heavy rain outside. The third is lexical presupposition, speech that is stated implicitly so that confirmation of the presupposition of the speech can be obtained after the statement of the presupposition. For example, Andy quit smoking after being fired. The presupposition, Andy used to smoke, Andy used to work. The fourth is structure presupposition. Presupposition expressed through speech whose structure is clear and immediately easy to understand without seeing the wrong words. For example, what's in the cupboard? The presupposition, there is something stored in the cupboard, so the cupboard is empty. 5 is non-factive presupposition. This presumption is still allows for wrong understanding due to the use uncertain and ambiguous words. For example, wish I had a car, and the presupposition, I have not a car. The last is non-factual presupposition. This presupposition produces an understanding that is the opposite of the statement. For the example, if Sinta comes today, Sinta will meet Andy. The presupposition, Sinta doesn't come, Sinta doesn't meet Andy. Okay, the last material. In pragmatics, politeness refers to way in which people express interest, respect, or favorable attitude towards others through language. It involves the use of language structures, word, and intonation aimed at maintaining good relationship between speaker and listener. Politeness includes aspects such as use of thanks, polite request, avoiding hurting people in feeling, and showing politeness in communication. There are several types of politeness. The first is positive politeness. This involves effort to maintain the positive face of the speaker or listener. For example, including using the polite words such as please, thanks, and excuse me to convey requests or respond to questions. The second, negative politeness. This occurs when someone avoids threatening the face of others. For example, using passive sentence to avoid directly blaming or accusing others. The third is off-record politeness. This occurs when someone expresses request or desire indirectly or implicitly. For example, using phrase like, would you mind helping me instead of directly asking for help. The last is universal politeness. This involves strategies considered polite across cultural. While there are cultural differences in how politeness expressed, there are also some universal principles often applied, such as respecting others and avoiding hurting their feelings. Okay guys, that's all about material of pragmatics. I hope my friends can understand and get new knowledge from what I have explained before. See you!